Welcome to Pod Me If You Can TV. I'm David Farrell.
And I'm Lloyd Hughes.
And here on Pod Me If You Can TV, we find obscure titles with your favourite stars and we discuss them. And Lloyd, today's film is Almost Salinas, with our friend here, John Mahoney from Frasier. Almost Salinas is also, it stars Virginia Madsen from Sideways, in case John Mahoney wasn't a big enough calling card for you. Look, I watched and enjoyed a film with James Franco playing James Dean. I think it was just called James Dean some years ago, and I thought this would be a really interesting companion piece. In retrospect, I probably should have just reviewed James Dean for this with James Franco, but this one is kind of the other side of the situation. Years ago, James Dean dies, and this is really about the aftermath of that event. John Mahoney's character is living, Max Harris is his name, and he is living with the guilt that he himself was involved in the car accident with James Dean that took his life. And he's living in the area where this all happened. His entire life is dictated by this, really, because he can't seem to remove himself from that event that shaped his entire life. It's on the back of the box, so I don't feel like it is a big twist, even though in the film it is treated as if it is something of a twist. If you can imagine any episode of Frasier, John Mahoney's acting is pretty much the same as any episode of Frasier. So, don't feel like it was a big stretch for him. Minus the cane, of course. But it's not a stretch for many of the actors. It is a film within a film. So they are making a movie about James Dean. A director comes to Max Harris, the character, and says, I want to shoot the end of my movie here. Why not shoot where James Dean died, kind of thing. And this movie seems so slapped together that they're able to cast people from, the diner, and, they don't have a bunch of professional actors playing every role. They have some actors and they're filling in blanks. They're improvising parts. They're really slapping this production together. But the film within a film is the more interesting part about this. The James Dean movie obviously will have somebody playing James Dean. He's not anyone of note. He does an adequate job. And there's a scene where he says something to the effect of how much he likes James Dean and how much he responds to James Dean, and that he has a personal kind of investment in this film. The gimmick of it, that he was a 17-year-old boy when this James Dean thing happened, that he was in the car crash, that's eating up his life. It is tied together at the end of this film by something of a dream sequence, Lloyd. You know how we feel about dream sequences on Pod Me If You Can.
Does the film explore any really dark themes? Like, they could go really deep into this film, like particularly with the director-actor relationship. Do they go into any of that?
No. It's PG rated. It is very midday movie feel, very straight-to-video release. It is... Look, he has all these flashbacks in black and white and the dream sequences in black and white, and he is able to talk to a James Dean lookalike in the dream who tells him he forgives him and he wasn't responsible. Basically, having this film shooting in town has brought up all of these old feelings. So
it probably came around the same time, like there was a James Dean anniversary or something like that. Like, that's probably why this film seemed so slapped together. It was just like, come on, we got to bank on this and get it out there,
Maybe. It might be the case. 2001, I don't know if that is an anniversary.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell or anything for me, but there was probably something that happened.
Sure. Look, it is actually a film from a first-time filmmaker named Terry Green on IMDb. He has done a decent achievement here, and if you look at what he's got, the next few films he's done, I think he's actually improving quite a lot, and this is a very slow but decent first achievement in filmmaking. Maybe in a few years we're going to see something really great come out of his mind, because this isn't it. This is a good starting point, though. Didn't hate this film. It just feels like the demographic for this film are probably an older generation. They pair off heaps and heaps of the actors and characters. So you can immediately see all the threads of all the romances going through this film. You go, oh, those two are going to get together, those two are going to get together, and then it's just a case of following things to their natural end. I didn't love the dream sequence sort of ending, but, I'm sure there are some who would have.
Sure.
Find more from us at www.podmeifyoucan.com.